Dang it, where's my chat at? All right, let's see. Let me send the link. Oh my gosh, this thing is moving so slow. Huh. You hear the wifey in the background? Okay. All right, let's do a recap. Yeah, I went long out of this fair value gap. We'll see. I'm gonna have a target for like right here. It'll probably take out that low and then go up there. I'll get stopped out. All right, recap for ES today. This is the 5-minute time frame. Let's go to 15. All right. See, we might just keep working our way down. We might get a retrace later. Um, so everyone knows we gapped up. Draw my lines. Everyone knows we gapped up right here and then moved into the Asian session and just kind of consolidated, not real big movement. Broke these highs. And then the next time we come down to test this gap is right at the end of the Asian session and then right here into London Open. So let's mark midnight. We got midnight open was just at the high of the Asian session. We come down, kind of bounce off the gap right there, doesn't fill, and then we come up out of it, and London kind of starts to consolidate after taking out Asian high. I think I was starting to, what time was it? I was like right here. That's when I got on my computer and started looking at the market. I was a little hesitant because I thought we might come down into this fair value gap first and then make a move up. But as oh, there we go, stopped out. Looks like we're retracing lower. Um, so as Uki was talking about, we have midnight open. London opens below it. This is your true day. So if we're thinking power of three and the way the daily candle ended up today, which was a huge wick down from this daily breaker, we open, we manipulate down, and then we start our rise up. So this right here was the manipulation down, and the fact that we rejected out of this void right here 1, 2, 3, 4 times, that should have been the key for me anyways. For some reason I thought that we would come down here before moving up. So manipulate down, come up into London, consolidate, start to move up, and then here's your New York 930 open with the retracement down into this order block. And if we go to the 5-minute chart, we'll see that we have a nice fair value gap. And this is what Uki was talking about. We don't want to go short or we don't want to go long above midnight. Here's our midnight open. Dips right down here, right into this fair value gap. And then that's when we get our are long for the daily breaker. So rips out of there right away. Price quickly moves away. We get a little bit of consolidation here. So we got our, right here's 10:30. Our first move up was pretty quick to 10 o'clock, and then 10:30 quickly moves up into this daily breaker. This was kind of key to me that we moved up so quickly. We had very little movement all throughout Asia and London, and then we moved up quickly. Now, up here, here's a thing that I like to look at for price action. Okay, look at all the candle bodies. If you look at the candle bodies, every single one of them are like almost the same spot. So you're going to get different size wicks, but these candle bodies are the same spot. And I think I ended up going short on over here. I actually went short right here, and then this came up and stopped me out as I had my stop above this candle body. And then as soon as it came back down, I went short right here and ended up getting out like right here. I thought it was rejecting this area right here. We might see a move higher up. But if we go to the 5-minute, or sorry, around the 5-minute, I think the only real entry short was right here. We have this swing low, runs down past it with good displacement, and then right up here we get these touches, and it just breaks right above there, and then that was it. So going back and looking, this would have been a good short entry right here. I saw this volume imbalance right here, and I was thinking we might get up into the actual candle bodies, but we never did. And the reason for that is because price was trying to get all the way back down to this 15 fair value gap by a certain time. Just looking at this, there's a lot of wicks, a lot of just, to me, that's a lot of like volatile action. A lot of up and down, a lot of wicks. Nothing was really like clear cut. Like we didn't have this action where this went up higher. I thought this might go up higher and then come down and then have a nice fair value gap right here to enter short. Nothing clean like that, like the model shows. But there were some few short entries that you could have got into. To me, this 5-minute one with this fair value gap right here, this was the one to get short in. But again, you have come up, comes down, and then it like runs up really high again. So it takes out this fair value gap. And to me, this is volatility and a little more erratic price action that's meant to be deceitful. And I think that we see a lot of that kind of price action on these weeks when there's high impact news. The FOMC and CPI coming up this week. So basically the second half of the day starting at noon right after lunch, right before, and we just start heading down the rest of the day. If we look at some higher time frame stuff, let's go switch to the daily and work our way down. All right, let's get rid of some of these. Okay. So I have a couple PD arrays. I have my daily PD array, which is from August highs down to October lows. Okay, and so right now we're just like cruising. We were a little bit below equilibrium, and then we came up, we're like right around equilibrium. Um, here's like a 4 hour PD array where I took this swing high down to the swing low. And so we came up a little bit, but nothing into real premium area. Again, we're hanging right around equilibrium. So looking at this, we have this consolidation right here, and then we kind of have this breakout, but then we have this huge rejection down from this daily breaker that I have highlighted. And as we're starting the next day, we're headed down. This is going to be an interesting week just due to the high impact news events. It's like we could possibly get down and test some of this sell side liquidity and then make a move back up, or we could retrace down into this could be an order block, and then we look to go into some premium area. We also still have more kind of this whole thing is unbalanced still. So this could have been a first test, and then we come down and come right back up here and then move down into a deeper discount. To me, I'm going to trade light this week just because of all the high impact news. I think that it really doesn't want to show its hand. Like if you look at this daily chart, like look at this. Like where's it going? You could speculate either way. And this day and today that happened, this huge rejection. I mean that like looks super bearish because of how hard we rejected, how big that wick is. But it's like you have no idea what they're going to use the high impact news to do. This could just be a little breakout of the consolidation, and then we get a couple more days of consolidation this week. All right, let's drop down into a okay 4 hour. We got this fair value gap right here. So if we're looking at optimal trade entry, if we're going long, something right here, but we'd have to look at some smaller time frames to see what's in there. But this is basically what I try to do every day. Erase all the lines off my chart and just start looking at the daily. Where's the daily going to head? Where does it look like it wants to head? And then go to the 4 hour. Yeah, we have this that needs to be balanced. And then just start breaking it down from there. Take a look at the 1 hour and what do we have? So order block right here, right in the optimal trade entry. Again, I'm going to be trading light because I think that this price action is very like the market hasn't showed its hand yet. And it's like we've gone over plenty of trades together in the group where when the market shows its hand, it's like clear as day to see. And you get in and you immediately when you get into an entry and you are immediately up $400-500, like you know the trade was right. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. There's going to be plenty of those. I'm not worried if I don't trade heavy one week. It's like It's 1 week, like ICT says, in the grand scheme of things and your longevity of being a trader and not a gambler. I'm more than happy to sit on my hands and watch. And I think we were talking about this in chat today too. Like everybody has setups that they can identify really well. And ICT talks about this where you have multiple setups that are available, and it's what you identify and what you do well for yourself. So what one person does really well and the setups that they like to trade, another person could have a completely different way of trading and it works for them. So don't worry if some days you feel off or you feel like you're lost and other people are like, oh man, this is easy, because that's going to happen. That's the one thing about when you're in a big group and we're all talking in the Discord is that you can't get FOMO because someone's identifying stuff and maybe you're not, or vice versa. So I think some of the biggest challenges to doing this and trying to make a living out of it is to really hone in on that mentality and the psychological aspect of it. And I think once you can master that, kind of master your own mind, then it'll make things a lot easier because you won't be bothered by what other people do because you're going to stick to your plan. Let's see. Let's go back to this 15-minute chart here. I mean, even this 15-minute, man, it's like it was so tight, like in these areas. Like there was no like nothing came down for you to come back up and hit. Maybe on the 1 minute it was a little more clear. Let's go to a 3-minute chart. Like it went up and then it just went down. Here we go, 3-minute. So this was the same entry that I think we talked about on the 5-minute. Yeah, this is the same one. So this was your entry right here. 5-minute, 3-minute. And that's the thing. Sometimes you got to scour through the time frames and see which one's looking good for setups. I was kind of on the 3-minute time frame a lot today. And I think it was giving you better setups on the 3-minute. But sometimes when you get stuck in those lower time frames, like the 1 minute, like you're not seeing the big picture of what's going on. And so then you can kind of get lost in the little movements of the 1 minute and you're not seeing like, oh, okay, it just hit this 15-minute point of interest. I did take another short, like right around here somewhere. Once it broke these equal lows, I think I got in like right here, and as it came back up, and I put my stop just right above this fair value gap. And so I caught this, and then I like exited out here, like exited right here, and then I took another short, like right here somewhere, and then exited down here. But again, it's like nothing, like this didn't come up all the way into here. Like that would have been a nice entry right up into here, but it's like you got this little, that's it, this little wick right above here, and that was it. And then you got this big retracement. I don't know, price action was okay today to me. I don't think it was extremely easy. I don't think the setups were clear as day. I would say the long entry right here was a clear setup, and I would say this short entry on the 3 and 5 minute was a clear setup, and that was what you got. You guys want me to go over anything else? So just a quick recap, and then some higher time frame stuff. Let's see where we're at. All right, what do we get right here? That volume imbalance. These little imbalances are actually interesting because like you'll see they get used a lot sometimes, and then sometimes they don't. Or like sometimes price will create a lot of these little imbalances, and then sometimes you don't get any of these imbalances for a while. And I feel like lately there's been a lot of imbalances. Like here's one, here's one up here, then down here, then right here, then up here, another one right here, here's another one right here, another one right here, another one up here. We have this imbalance right here. I mean, there's so many imbalances lately, and I don't know if that's purposeful as the algorithm's constantly evolving. So it's using different markers basically, because all these things are just markers. Like if you really think about it, it sets price down to a certain level and then it remembers it later on. Like you have this right here. So here is a swing low, and then look at where that up candle comes into right there. This is low is 39.26 and the high of this green candle is 39.26.25. So I mean that's a marker, and it knows it's going to come back to that later, and that's where it's going to reject from. Yeah, 1 hour volume imbalance at 3,900. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, and it nailed it. And there we go. Now we're heading back up. And then what else is right there? So it's like, is this a retracement down into here as we break of structure right here? We're right on the candle bodies. So we have this break of structure. Order block, fair value gap. Yeah, but interesting that it came down right into that imbalance. So, yep, interesting how they become markers. All right, so since we broke out of this range, I think I'm going to keep the PD array on this 4 hour. Yeah, and on the 4 hour, we're consolidating down into all this. So potentially we're setting up for a bigger move up. Um, but again, we'll see. An imbalance pop up. Yeah, looks like a slight imbalance on the 4 hour there too. Interesting. Maybe not. Um, we're definitely going to come back up here because as price wasn't offered on the upside and now it's only been offered on the sell side. So we have no buy side price offering right here. Now we've been offered sell side price. And so we should see a retracement back up here. And I think we actually have some really good targets to go short. So let's look for where our optimal trade entry is going to be. So right up in here, feels like a lot of times it's been getting more to the 79%. So we have this right here that we could touch, which puts it right smack in the middle. And then we have this order block right here on the 15-minute. I go to the 5-minute. I think there's a really nice entry point. Yeah, like right here. I think this is what I'm going to look for. Nothing's tested this swing low right here. Get rid of that. Broke the equal lows. And that lines up right with this swing low. So that could act as a breaker. Get rid of this. It's a higher time frame. All right. Relative equal highs. Um, I feel like because these are already relative equal highs, if we do end up going above, we're gonna shoot past this. There's actually like right around 39.87 is I think it's a 4 hour. Where are we at? We have no, maybe it's a 1 hour. Yeah. So right here, like I think that would be a good, this 1 hour order block at 39.87 basically, right above these equal highs. I think that would be a good target if we get above there. Then we also have the 1 hour fair value gaps. This is also another good target. You got this swing low that came down here, and it could hit this one, which is right above these equal highs and right into this fair value gap. Like, let's see. High on this is 39.9650. High on this is 39.9650. Tad below. So this hasn't come up into the fair value gap yet. So this 39.97 is another target that looks interesting to me. Back from December 15th. All right. That's it, guys. I'm going to get off. Hope it was helpful. Interesting day today to study and watch PA. So we'll just keep doing these, and I'll keep learning. All right, you guys have a good evening.